Hello. So in this video is going to be a little bit different. Today's Saturday, October 2nd. Ooh, already October. And I wanted to talk about some of my health issues in this video. Not all of them, just the one that happened in 2017. I was working at an auto parts store. I'm not going to name the name of the one that I was working at. But I was working at an auto parts store delivering parts that were ordered by commercial accounts and whatnot. And I had just, this was my last delivery of the day, and I got rear-ended by an elderly woman in the company vehicle. And I've had a lot of chronic pain and issues following that accident. I was able to work before that. And after the accident, I wasn't able to work. I was fired for missing two shifts at work that I didn't know I was scheduled for. And the manager didn't even bother telling me. One of the assistant managers texted me that I had been let go for missing 2 shifts. And I was still doing all the medical treatments, and they had the notes from the doctors and everything. And up until last year, I'm still being treated as actually, but the insurance company, the workers' comp, stopped paying for all of the medical stuff last year. But I'm still seeking treatment on my own after everything that happened. I'm still doing this by myself. They stopped covering me for XYZ reasons, and I didn't get the full treatment that I think I should have got because I need to explain more about what's wrong with me. Okay, so I had the accident. I have had, I don't know if I still have it. Probably not, actually. Lingering whiplash. And I'll have to say why. But lingering whiplash, my fingers are falling asleep. My hands are falling asleep. My arms are falling asleep. I get muscle spasms all over in my back. I have ribs that pop out sometimes if I strain myself too hard. I have scoliosis. I was probably born like that, but it was discovered in the 6th grade. I have migraines. I have ringing in my ears. I have chronic headaches. I am tired all the time. I'm fatigued, exhausted. I am in constant pain. The muscle spasms, the chronic pain. I have low back pain. I have bursitis in my hip also. I walk with a cane. I have a walker. No, I don't have the walker. I have a shower chair. I have a wheelchair. I have, a lot of different things. Medical devices, TENS unit. I've been prescribed drugs. I was prescribed so many different kinds of drugs. From over-the-counter stuff, ibuprofen to ibuprofen 600, ibuprofen 800, metaxalone, naproxen, Toradol, tramadol, Jesse's Crest gabapentin. I don't even remember. There was so many different drugs. I got put on anti-anxiety medication also right after the accident, but then that stopped being prescribed. I don't know what's going on with these dogs barking. It's a cat. They see the cat and they're all in their areas, their cages, their fenced off areas. But yeah, where was I? So the pills. I had facet injections. I had epidurals. I had, oh my God, so many facet injections, so many times, so many injections. I had physical therapy. I had acupuncture, chiropractic, multiple chiropractors. I think I've seen 5 different chiropractors by now. And I finally found one that is helping me, that I think is going to help me. Um, but that's, I'm getting too far. So 2017, I had the accident. I was living in Colorado at the time, and I had to come back to the state that I currently live in. And I really didn't want to come back. That's a whole nother video. um, okay, so I'll say a little bit. I had an abusive ex that I was trying to get away from, so I went to another state to live. And wow, I've got a whole lot of stories I need to tell. Um, yeah, so I went to Colorado to get away from the abusive ex. He was physically and emotionally violent with me. Um, so I didn't want to come back to here, obviously, for that reason. That was like my biggest reason I didn't want to come back. But eventually I had to come back because I lost my job, I lost my place to live. I didn't have any money. We were homeless, like literally homeless. I had a boyfriend, but he wasn't helping me. You know, he, in all fairness, he was helping me, but not um, financially. He did help me in other ways, but and in the end, he was more of a financial drain than help. But I did learn a lot from that relationship, and I did experience a lot of things that I wouldn't have experienced otherwise. So I don't regret it, but I did have to come back here to where I am, where my ex is. And um, we were homeless for, the accident was in June, July, end of June. August 31st was when I was fired. July was about when I lost the place that we were living at. July, August, September, and then end of October we were back here. I almost said the name. We were back here by the end of October. So we were homeless um, for a little while, for a couple of months. After a car accident, I was homeless, in a lot of pain, trying to do physical therapy in another state that I didn't belong in. To be honest, I did not belong there. But that's another story. I should have never went there in the first place. But like I said, that's another story. So back to my problems, my issues. So 2017, 2018, early 2018, I started having really, really, really bad pain in my abdomen. And I ended up going to the emergency room, and it turned out to be a cyst. I had to have a biopsy done to determine that it was a cyst. But in the meantime, it was pretty scary. And not knowing what this 3 centimeter by 3 centimeter mass inside of my body was. Um, yeah, that was scary. And I had broken up. I was breaking up with my boyfriend at that time. While all of this was happening. Um, and so we broke up. He went back to Colorado, and I kept doing my treatments here. I was getting dropped off at the hospital. I didn't have the emotional support that I had anymore. I was, doing everything by myself. Well, I was getting taken and dropped off, but I was alone. And so I started seeing another doctor here that was through the insurance. That took a while to get done too. because we got here to here. We got here, and then I had to wait like until January to see her, and we got here at the end of October. So that was like the whole insurance issue was trying to get me a new doctor where I was at now. And then I saw her in January. I went to the emergency room before that because I started having pain and I didn't know what this pain was. And then I started seeing her, and then she said that she wanted to do facet injections again, and I told her they hadn't worked. And she also wanted to do, she did all of this stuff. She wanted to do it, but she wanted to do it even after I told her all of this stuff had not worked in Colorado. She gave me a Toradol injection in my right hip. Didn't help. She gave me facet injections in my back. Didn't help. She gave me an epidural in my spinal column. Didn't help either. What it did to me, because I was taking gabapentin at the same time, and steroids cause weight gain, so does gabapentin. I ballooned up to over 240 pounds with a bad back and a bad hip. Breathing was hard. Moving was hard. Getting up and doing things was hard. The pain was unbearable at times. There was so many times. I think I've only had one or two instances this year where I've almost wanted to go to the emergency room. Whereas that year, I was abusing my tramadol at that time to deal with the pain. I was taking too many. I was supposed to only be taking 2 a day, 1 in the morning and 1 at night. And then I got changed to once a day. She cut my prescription down. And then I eventually weaned myself off because I was still getting a prescription, but I wasn't taking them anymore because they were making me throw up the very few times that I tried to take them. And this was in 2019, 2020. I don't remember. I should have wrote notes. But yeah, I ended up eventually not even taking the tramadol anymore, and I was still seeing the pain specialist here, and I requested the cannabis card, and I got that in 2018 also, I believe. 2018? 2018? I think it was 2018. But yeah, I gained a lot of weight. I was over 240 pounds, taking gabapentin, taking tramadol, mixing the two. I actually think that I had a seizure at one point that I was taking gabapentin. It's normally prescribed as an anti-epileptic, but in people that don't have epilepsy, it can cause seizures. It also doubles as a nerve blocker, and that's why it was prescribed to me as a nerve blocker. But there was an instance, and I told my pain specialist about this, but she said, if it happens again, tell me and we'll look at you. But I started feeling really, really funny, like everything, my vision started getting really clear, really sharp, really bright. My head felt lightheaded kind of, but not really, kind of dizzy too, but not really. I don't know what the feeling was. I just felt weird in my head. And I sat down on my bed, and the next thing I know, I'm waking up and it's 14 hours later. I mean, I don't know what happened. I have no explanation for that. That was like 14 hours of lost time that happened. I don't even remember, like, I sat on my bed. I don't remember laying down. I don't remember anything. I just remember waking up, looking at the time and saying, like, what? This can't be, what? Well, this can't be right. when did I fall asleep? And yeah, so I weaned myself off of those after that. Yeah, because I don't know. Um, and then I weaned myself off the tramadol. Um, my pain specialist approved signed the paperwork for me to get a cannabis card here, and I weaned myself off of those other drugs, and I've been doing cannabis ever since, which is, really a lot better because if you have more pain, you can take more, and it's not going to kill you. I mean, I was gambling with the tramadol and the gabapentin. I don't know what happened to me, but I'm missing 14 hours that I can't explain when I was taking those drugs. And that was before I was a cannabis patient. So I wasn't like mixing too many different kinds of medications all at once. That was just the legally prescribed stuff. Well, cannabis is legally prescribed too. But yeah, I lost the weight and I was still having a lot of pain. My energy levels did increase some, but the pain was always still there. And my shoulders are hurting a little bit. I'm getting a little tired. It's the end of the day. But where was I? The cannabis has been helping a lot. I had physical therapy in Colorado, all the injections, all the facets, the biopsy, the Toradol. She injected me in her office with Toradol, and that didn't help either. I've been doing cannabis, and 2020 was the year the pandemic started. I think I might have also got COVID in March because my birthday's in March, and the Friday that they shut everything down was my birthday. My birthday's on Friday the 13th. So that was like, I don't know. I don't know. I was, yeah, anyways, so the reason I think I had COVID during that time was because my parents went on a cruise, and I was telling them I had been watching the news and I knew about COVID, coronavirus, whatever, um, since like late 2019. I had been seeing stuff on YouTube about it, about some flu that people were getting and dying from, and I started crocheting a mask in February because I was thinking to myself like, man, this is gonna spread. Um, I'm gonna start making masks. And I always liked the aesthetic of like the Japanese um, show. Like I've watched documentaries or vlogs or whatever, and there's people in the background, and they had like masks on, like really cool looking black ones, and I liked how it looked. So I said, I'm gonna jump on that bandwagon, and I'm gonna start making masks. I'm gonna wear my own masks, and I'm just gonna protect myself because I'm not as healthy as I could be. I'm not as healthy as I should be, and I need to protect myself as much as I can. So then I started crocheting masks, and my parents went to their cruise, even though I told them, I don't think it's a good idea. You're gonna get sick over there. This weird thing is going around, and my son had a weird mystery pneumonia thing. He got tested for the flu, and he came back negative for the flu, and he had pneumonia. And they almost admitted him to the hospital because his oxygen levels were dropping, and I think he might have had it too, but that was in 2020. Um, so then my parents went to their cruise, and unknowingly, my mother was already sick. She thinks that one of her coworkers got her sick, and she went on her cruise, and she was really, 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 really sick. She had to go to the hospital in Mexico where they went um, for their vacation, cruise vacation, whatever. I don't know if that was the cruise. I think they went to a different part of Mexico. They take cruises all the time. They're in Mexico all the time too. So they took a trip to Mexico, and she had to go to the hospital. And she was prescribed stuff, and she came back still sick. And then I started feeling sick after they got back. My scalp hurts. I was coughing. I lost my sense of smell, taste. I felt like crap. I only got up to go to the bathroom for probably a month and a half. I barely left my bed for like a month and a half. I was pretty sick. I didn't go to the hospital. They weren't doing COVID testing at that time. Um, so I don't know for a fact if I got it or not. But I was pretty sick. And when my son got sick, I didn't get sick. I got sick after my parents got back from their cruise or their vacation. So yeah. And my mom said that she had the same symptoms of her scalp hurting and just feeling like she was knocking on death's door. And so still a cat. So yeah, so that was kind of scary. And then COVID happened. So then earlier this year, um, I went back to Colorado to see another doctor. And this doctor said that he thought it was psychosomatic. And one doctor out of like 30 that I've seen said that he thought it might be psychosomatic. So then that had a big effect on something else that I can't talk about. And so then I thought to myself, well, if he thinks it's psychosomatic, well then I should talk to somebody or get hypnotized. I've tried everything else. I think I had seen something on YouTube about people getting hypnotized for pain management or something like that. And then I started Googling. I honestly did not think, we live in a small town, and I honestly did not think that I was going to find a hypnotist. I was surprised when I found an acupuncturist here. And yeah, so I found the hypnotist. I called her, I made an appointment, and we started talking the first couple of things. And she said, well, what do you want to accomplish with this? And I said, well, I Googled you because I have chronic pain, and I want to get hypnotized so I want to try to get hypnotized to help me deal with it. And I also have issues dealing with an abusive ex that I'm still very afraid of. And I have panic attacks when I have to talk to him, and I don't know how to deal with him. And she said, okay, so first things first, we have to deal with all of any existing trauma that you have before we can start addressing hypnotism and dealing with your pain. So then we started dealing with my childhood stuff, my abusive ex, a lot of the trauma that I've experienced, but not all of it. I dealt with a lot of it on my own, and she doesn't know a lot about my life. I haven't told her a lot. We've just been concentrating on like the bigger issues, like the bigger immediate issues at hand, because I had a lot of stressors that I didn't know how to deal with. But I've learned how to deal with those. I have coping mechanisms. There's a butterfly hug that you can do, and you say, I am okay, even though Um, I'm not going to have enough time to finish my project today. Um, and just turn it, repeat it 3 times and affirm it into, turn it into a positive affirmation while you're mimicking the hugging sensation. It's called a butterfly hug. And you do it with both hands. You interlock your thumbs and then you do that. And I was journaling, meditating. I am journaling, meditating. I do yoga. I stretch. I have started tossing a ball, a 3 pound, a weighted ball with my son. I'm trying to recruit him into like getting me more active again. Oh yeah, 2020. In October of 2020, had been watching that year. I had been watching a lot of videos of people growing food from scraps and stuff, and growing food from seeds. And so, I said, well, why not me? It's not going to hurt to try. So I planted some lemon seeds. What was the first one? I did lemon seeds, avocado seeds, mango seeds. I did those first. Oh, and I took the tops of pineapples and I planted them. And I took the tops of carrots and I planted them. I was experimenting. And then when the lemon trees started growing, or the lemon seeds sprouted, I was like, no shit. And then the pineapples started growing, and I was like, no shit. I think I can do this. So then I started ordering seeds. I started planting seeds. I started ordering like little different supplies, and um, I started sprouting seeds. I grew peppers and tomatoes and squash and beans and okra and all kinds of different things. Not everything that I sprouted made it, because we had a late frost this year and I wasn't prepared. A lot of my plants died. A lot of them made it though. And this year I had a garden. It was really hard. I paid dearly for a lot of the days that I overexerted myself. My kids helped me um, do the majority of the digging. They did the majority of the digging. I shaped the little rows. Some of them were pretty crooked, but it's fine. I ended up buying more pepper plants from the store because a lot of the ones that I had planted died with the frost. So I bought pepper plants and I bought tomato plants. Oh, and tomatillos. And watermelons and cucumbers and honeydew and melons. Hyacinths, gladiolas. I planted a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. Um, yeah. And then so I did the garden this year, and that has made me a lot stronger. I'm, you know, pain is every day. It's different levels every day, but it's always there. Some days it's so bad that I can't even get up to go outside and stand in the sun. That's been like, I think one of the goals that I set for myself this year was to get sunlight at least every day. I haven't done it every day this year, but I've had way more sunshine days than I've had indoor days. So that's great. Um, and I've been working with a therapist, and she hypnotized me last week, and that helped some with the pain. And I went to, oh, I started seeing an acupuncturist again, the same acupuncturist. I started seeing her again, and that's was amazing when I started seeing her again. I had been meditating a lot, and she put so many needles in me, a lot of needles. And I started seeing colors at a certain point, and I was like, oh man, here we go. And then I guess she sensed something because she stopped talking to me. We had been chit chatting before, and I started seeing colors, and I just like really went into it. I like relaxed, and then she did the last tap of the needle, and like I felt like I was astral projecting, like that. I was like there. It was amazing. And then oh, I have to explain more. So then I started thinking about a person that I am very much in love with. Um, I have loved this person for 19 years. But that's another story. I started thinking about him, and I was just like taken to somewhere else altogether mentally. I started feeling like crazy intense love. And I was all like, wow, if I'm thinking about him and this is like, I'm getting all these intense emotions, I'm going to think about my kids. And then I started thinking about my kids, and holy shit. Like, oh my God. I've never, I have felt this before. But it was the craziest, most intense, overwhelming feeling of love that I felt. I started thinking about my son, how he's in football, and I'm proud of him. I started thinking about my oldest daughter. She's about to graduate, and I'm proud of her. And I started thinking about my baby, the youngest, and how incredibly proud I am of them. And just all of those. Whew, I let it wash. I directed those feelings, and I let it just wash over me. It felt like when it's sprinkling outside, and it's like a warm sprinkle. I used to live in Houston, so we used to have like warm rain, um, or warmish feeling rain, and that's what it felt like, only microscopic and just all over my skin. It was just like warm, tingly goodness, warmth, I don't know, all over my body. And then I started visualizing my hip because I know what it looks like because of the MRIs. I started visualizing my hip, and I put a blue healing light on in the shape of the black on my hip. And I started feeling the pain like subsiding because I was laying on my stomach, and I can't lay on my stomach for too long because my back starts hurting. So then that pain started subsiding, and the pain in my lower back started getting more intense. And then so then I redirected my healing to my lower back, and then that started to subside. And it didn't go away all the way, but it subsided. And it was just like this crazy intense, just, oh my God. And then the acupuncturist came in and checked on me, and she said, how are you doing in here? You got a few more minutes, but I just wanted to come in and check on and make sure that you're doing okay. And I said, yes. As soon as you put that last needle in, I was seeing colors, and I started feeling like I was leaving my body and astral projecting, and it was just so crazy. And it had been like a year and a half since I had seen her, and she said, oh my God, yes, the colors. she remembered me from, she like, it finally clicked in her head exactly who I was, because I had seen colors the first time also, but I didn't feel that intense feeling of love. And she said, I haven't heard anybody tell me about the colors in such a long time. And so yeah, I walked out of there feeling great, like $1,000,000. And then the next day it was gone, like usual. But she recommended me, oops, she recommended that I go to the chiropractor that I went to recently. And she says they're kind of expensive, but they're really great and they've helped a lot of people. I really recommend them. And I said, okay. And then so I went and I saw them, and it was expensive the first time. They took a lot of x-rays, and I talked about that in the other video. And they told me basically what was wrong with me. One of the doctors told me basically what was wrong with me, what he could see. And then I scheduled the following appointment so that I can have my first adjustment with them. And oh my God. I wish I could have I wish I had somebody there with me that could have been recording what was happening and what they were doing to me. Because I'm feeling like a completely different person. They adjusted my head. They put my head on straight. And my spinal column cord area was opened up, and I've just been feeling like a completely different person. I'm still having some pain. I'm a little bit sore. Um, I'm doing the exercises that they told me to do. I'm obviously, this isn't going to be like an overnight fix or anything, but I feel different. I feel different. So that's been my medical journey so far, and that's not even touching on everything, because I've got other stuff that's going on that I haven't even I'm not even ready to talk about yet, because again, just like my back, it's an ongoing issue. Um, I've got an appointment for one of my other issues in December. I'm seeing the therapist. I got put on anti-anxiety medication and antidepressant medication. I think one of the medications I'm taking is also for migraines. Um, mm, I lost 70 pounds, over 70 pounds by now. So I'm like really proud of myself. I did a garden this year. I lost a lot of weight. The pain is still there, but it's getting better. My head's on straight. I'm walking straighter now. I'm not using the cane as much. I'm walking a lot steadier, even though I'm still having pain. I sat in the driver's seat of the car for 20 minutes the other day, and that was like a giant leap forward. I'm like excited to start driving again. I'm scared, but I'm excited. Oh, this is crazy. This is a really long video. But yeah, so yeah, this was my story time about my medical journey so far. I didn't even touch on everything, because after physical therapy in Colorado, I started working with a gentleman out of Houston. He's a physical fitness trainer, and he was helping me online. He was trying to giving me free like coaching stuff. I gave him all of my medical background, what I was eating, and my dietary changes. Oh, another one of the reasons that I lost a lot of weight was because I stopped eating bread, flour, pasta, drinking soda, eating cupcakes and cakes and chips. And I was eating a lot of junk food too at that time, so I know that contributed to the weight gain. But I cut all of that stuff out, and I gradually started losing weight. And then I stopped the gabapentin, and then that helped me also lose even more weight. I stopped the gabapentin in 2019. That's when I stopped it. Because 2018 was when I started gaining the weight from those epidurals, and I was taking gabapentin that whole year. And we are in October of 2021, and I weigh 169 pounds. I was staying at like 175 for the majority of the year, and then I weighed myself again all of a sudden because like something started fitting me even looser. I couldn't find clothes that fit. And then I went and weighed myself again, and I said, wow, I weigh 169 pounds now. And none of my clothes fit me anymore. I had bought a whole bunch of other clothes, bigger sizes, because I thought I was going to stay like that. I honestly thought that was going to be my life, that was it, that I was going to be 240 plus pounds and not being able bedbound pretty much. I spent like 2 years of my life bedbound, pretty much bedbound. It's been 4 years since the accident, but I spent at least 2 of them in bed. Because there was times when I was sleeping 20 hours a day, multiple days in a row, a month in a row, probably. I was deeply depressed. I thought I had lost my life, but now I'm getting better. I'm finally seeing improvement in so many aspects. My mental health, my physical health, other things I can't talk, or I'm not going to talk about it in this video. I have other videos, private videos that I have about it that I'll probably make public in like a year or two. I don't know. But yeah, man, things are looking up for me. If you made it this far, I think this is the second time I've said this, but if you made it this far, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. If you haven't heard it today, I love you. Don't forget to eat something. Don't forget to drink something. Drink some water. Not something, drink some water. We all need water. We all need to eat. So yeah. And as always, namaste.